What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? I was just reading that, guys. It is in Mark chapter 8. So Mark chapter 8 and 36. For what shall it profit a man if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? There are people that we have read about that have owned great things. They were just given some sort of recognition for some great things that they've been doing. Sometimes they had some even more projects, movie deals, whatever it may be that was coming up. They were living in wealth. They had the looks, they had the money. They didn't have the looks, they had the money, they had the status. And yet we read about people who jump from their windows and hang themselves and shoot themselves. And I noticed the two most common things that happens a lot are people, three really, but the top two: hanging, shooting. Hanging themselves or shooting themselves. And then another common one is taking pills. And sometimes, guys, this with the pills, it's accidental. It's just that they were in a habit of drinking and taking maybe barbiturates and narcotics and all these different things, and they weren't paying attention. They were not paying attention. And so it's an accident. But an accident won't make you any less dead. Some people are pushing and trying so hard to get riches and to get status and to get things. But I'm here to tell you that when you do these things and you don't have God in your life, what causes a lot of people to do this is that there's a void that can only be filled by God. There is a void that if you don't fill it with the Lord, not just I believe in a God, I believe in God, he's cool, he's my buddy, but truly choosing to have the Lord in your life along with your successes, along with whatever you have going on, whatever you've been blessed with. I'm here to tell you that the powers of darkness comes in. This is how someone that can be beautiful will think that they're ugly. Because when the power of darkness comes in, it distorts their mind and their vision and let them see themselves as ugly. When the power of darkness comes in without God, you'll find a man who already has enough, but the power of darkness will say, but look at the next thing that you don't have, and will cause him to work and to do everything and to sacrifice his family, her family, everything to get there. Sleep at the office, sleep with people, cutthroat, do everything to get to that level, only to find out that it's not all that they thought it was. And then there's more to get. And so they continue to do more and more. If people will continue to ignore that they are dark forces that will influence you if you are not secure and if you are not truly tied in and locked into the Lord to serve him, that these powers of darkness exist, this is how they become easier targets. Because you find a lot of people, okay, you don't believe in God, I believe in a God. Well, how come that when you believe in your God, these people that's believing in all these different gods, they're still doing these crazy things to themselves? I'm not here to debate gods, but what I'm here to tell you is this: Jesus Christ is the one and true and only God. And I can tell you that because this is the only God that when we believe in him and we serve him as Christians, we're being killed and persecuted for it. It's like a huge deal. But any other religion, you can freely be that with no problems. People may not agree with it, but they're not getting that type of backlash that a Christian will get. But what I'm here to tell you is this: when you choose to live a life without God, when you choose to live a life without truly committing your life to God to do things his way, then what you're doing is you're actually dealing with life and all this situation alone. No matter how many people are around you, no matter what you have, no matter how many security teams you have, one thing you cannot escape is the powers of darkness, and they enter in and they will keep you longing. They will keep you thinking you need more. They will keep you where you're not satisfied. You'll start drinking, smoking, taking drugs, and you will find that at first it will help you, and then all of a sudden it's not enough, because these powers of darkness come into your life to drive you to self-destruct. People, there's a lot of medical terms for a lot of things that people say people are suffering from this and this and this and this. But I'm here to tell you that there's no human being that's been created to destroy themselves. No human being is born with a mindset that I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to cut myself. That's not how we are set up. But what happens is evil and dark spirits will enter in because something happened. There's normally an area in that person's life where they just don't believe in God. They're fooling around with the powers of darkness. They think that they can call on messengers and they can call on spirits and they can worship what they don't see and know and feel like they can contain and manage these spirits. When the spirits, they act docile, they act compliant, but after a while they will drive you to certain things. Even if you're doing witchcraft and things like that, certain things are going to work to a certain extent. But even if you're in that, you're going to find that there's certain things you have to keep doing and keep doing and keep doing. Because even when you get results, it's going to be for a certain period of time and you'll find you have to do something else. And whatever it is that you wanted, you get it, but now it's driving you crazy to keep it. The whole idea of the power of darkness is to drive you to a place to hurt yourself. People that we've heard that have hurt themselves, who have killed themselves, people put a lot of labels on them and say they were this and they were that and they had this problem, they were that problem, they had that problem. But we were never created for those things to happen to us. And it is not in us to hurt ourselves and to kill ourselves. But the demonic spirits that's outside in this world that hates us, if we give them any bit of entrance in our lives, they will destroy us. They will kill you. They will do everything possible to destroy you. But it can only be done at our hands. Why? These spirits can't just take you and throw you out of a window. God gave us something in the beginning that he speaks about. When Jesus said, I believe it's in Genesis chapter 2, when he says, let us make man in our image and likeness and let him have dominion. We have been given dominion, authority, and he's given us the power of choice. So these spirits just can't do whatever they want to do. These demonic spirits can't just do what they feel like doing. That's why you'll hear all the horror stories we'll hear when someone have killed themselves or done something terrible. They did it. They did it. But you know what was in their head? Thoughts that they could not get over. And so medication and counsel, it can help to a certain point. But if you don't believe in the power of Jesus Christ, and if they're still turning to do different things, guys, it's not that Jesus pushed them off a bridge. It's if you don't choose him and you choose to live this life your way without a seatbelt, so to speak, they're the powers of darkness that absolutely hate us. And when they get that chance, they're going to come in. It's going to seem great. And then they'll bring you to the place to self-destruct. And even if a person never hurts themselves, you know what they want you to do? They know that they're immortal. They're living forever. Okay? They know you're not immortal. So they can keep you and I distracted and busy until our last breath. It's a win for them too. Because now we rise out of our immortal body and we come out of our earthly body. When we die, our flesh dies, our body dies, but we continue on. And now you see face to face what's tormented you, what kept you in sin, what kept you being disobedient to God all this time. Movies and the things that we're seeing about the powers of darkness and evil, that stuff is not make-believe. It may be on that film, but I'm telling you, the message is real. Ephesians 6 says, our battle is not against flesh and blood, but it's against principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. As long as you don't want to believe in God, you think that you can do things the way you want to do it, and you got God on lock and you got the demonic spirits on lock, you're going to find that they'll drive you to do the unthinkable. You'll find yourself doing more and more things you never thought that you would ever do. And when you acquire the world, you're going to lose your soul for it. When you accomplish all these things without God, or when you started with God and you deviate, you're going to see that they're going to bring you high so they can cast you off low. They want to make sure that you spill and you burst on everything that you chose over God. My brothers and sisters, and even those of you that are sinners, I invite you to turn to the Lord. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the only way. He will help you through your times and in your life and in your tough times. It's not that everything's just going to be perfect for the Christian. But I'm here to tell you there's a peace. There is a continuity. There is the power of God that keeps us from falling. And if we fall and we mess up, we can get back up. It keeps our feet out of the snares of the devil. It keeps us from putting our heads in that guillotined situation. Turn to him with a whole heart. Do not think that you're too dirty, you're too far gone. Return to God. Give him your heart. Ask him to enter into your heart and to forgive you for your sins. And I'm here to tell you that this will be the beginning of true life through Jesus Christ.